Alright, in this training video we're going to show you how to use the DVD burner. So before church we're going to stick the disc in. I'm also going to tell you about some of the tricks and tweaks we have. When you first put a disc in, it's going to spin up and read the disc. Make sure that it's blank. Yep. Now sometimes it spins up real fast and stays at a real fast spin, and after a while it should stop. Well, if it doesn't, you can eject it, put it back in, and if that doesn't work, turn the power off, turn it back on. When you start to record, you press the record button once, and then all of a sudden it'll say it's recording track 1, and it's clicking away the time. You see that on there?
I can't see the time. I can see the blue. I can see the...
Is it because of the light?
It's just too far away.
Yeah. Right. It's hard to see.
It's just, I guess, quality, camera quality or
Yeah.
something.
Alright. Okay. So then, what we do during the service is we have a track break at the beginning of the sermon and at the end of the sermon. And to create a track break, you just press the record button again. And you always have to kind of anticipate it ahead of time because it takes a while for the track break. So you got to track break it like right at the end of the closing hymn or the closing part of the liturgy, right before the sermon. And then it'll switch and it'll say recording 02, and it'll count down. When he ends the sermon, and you kind of have to wait a little couple of moments after he says amen before you hit it again, because there's that delay between the time of when you push it and when it actually happens. And so now we're recording track 3. At the end of the service then, you would, during communion, sometimes the service may run long and the disc only holds about 70 minutes, so that's just over an hour. So then we want to pause it during communion, so we'll click pause once, and it's going to say close track. I'll just zoom in there for close track. And now you can see the screen says DA in 03, and it's just waiting there. Once the service starts up again, you hit record, and it'll start recording track 4. At the end of the service, you'd click stop, but you have to hold it for about 3 seconds. So we're going to hold here, 1, 2, 3, and now it's going to close the disc and finalize the disc. Once in a while, it maybe will stop, but it doesn't finalize the disc properly. You can use this setup button and then go through the menu and manually finalize the disc, and when it's done it should spit it out. Yep. So now we know that this disc is done and burned, and if we wanted to, you could stick one disc in here and one disc and a blank one in here and hit disc copy, and it'll copy one to the other. Another glitch that sometimes once in a while happens after you put a disc in is when you hit record, it thinks that you hit disc copy, and all of a sudden it'll try to copy and then give you an error message, and it'll have an error message on the screen, and then you can't do anything. So you have to turn it off and then turn it back on and wait for it to boot up and then hit record. So usually if that happens, then we at the beginning of the service, then we try to wait like for a break in a hymn verse or at the conclusion of the first hymn before we hit record again. Okay, that pretty much sums up using the DVD burner.